how did the pages get where they were? I know how the Myst book got to where I am. That's actually explained in one of the 3 books that kind of expand on the universe and everything that's happened. The Book of Atris, it's the first one. It explains the events leading up, not necessarily leading up to Myst, but the events leading up to Riven, which is the sequel to Myst. Not Myst 2, the sequel to Myst. That's what the actual official name is. It's Riven, the sequel to Myst. But it explains like how Atris came to learn the art, and how he got to Riven, and how he met Catherine, his wife. And I keep heading off down there rather than turning around and going down the stairs. Okay, down we go. And one of these days, I've really got to read the other 2 books. I've only got the 1. Okay. Now our path to get there is we've got to go the long way again. Sucks that we have to do that, but hey, whatever works. I think I'm going to actually try to push to get this game finished in this sitting. I mean, we've really only got 1 more age to do. It's my least favorite one. That's why I've left it till the last. Because it's one that is a little tough to figure out if you don't know what you're doing. And even if you do, it can still be tough to figure out. Okay, back to the library. Okay, blue book.
Oh, my friend. Bring in the blue pages. I see. Convinced Cyrus is guilty. Pray, do not release him. He will destroy me, just as he should. Innocent bystander. I've been wrongfully tricked into imprisonment. Didn't you have observed his unbridled lust for riches? In the 4 remaining worlds, some plot. It was almost perfect. Final blow to father. You tricked him into believing that it was I who was the murderer. I didn't murder father. Bring me the remaining. Please. A liar. All in a liar. Must not be free. Remaining blue pages from the last age of Myst. I must be free. You must free me. I cannot bear it here for eternity. Free me.
Okay. So now, let's go ahead and set the tower rotation for the last one, which is the rocket ship. And let's go ahead and read the journal for the Selentic Age. It should be this one. No, that's Stone Ship. Here it is, Selentic. It has been a while since I have heard only silence, and I enjoy it greatly, I think. For some reason, I do not feel altogether welcome in this new world in which I have arrived. But how could I be unwelcome in an age with no inhabitants? It is, of course, only in my head. This world is very beautiful, but I think I have yet to ever write in a journal that an age I have linked to is horrid or disgusting. From the grassy hill where I am standing, I can see green fields below, along with a few scattered forests. A rather large lake looms some distance from where I am standing, yet the water's blue can be seen plainly from here. The air is fresh, and the sky is sparked with white clouds. It is absolutely breathtaking, and yet that strange feeling again. Perhaps it is the hot breeze that continues to blow from the north. Hotter than I would have imagined, it almost singes my skin, and I feel quite uncomfortable when it comes. I will try to ignore it. Night has almost arrived, and the sunset is spectacular. Oranges and reds have settled above the western horizon. Though night has come, the horizon still glows red long past the sunset. Dark reds flow from the horizon and blend into the black sky. Again the feeling, and I am beginning to believe it is not all in my mind. I must sleep now. I will need my strength to explore more tomorrow. I have had to return home due to an unpredictable natural occurrence more frightening than I had ever experienced. I was awakened by terrible shakings in the ground and explosions on all sides of me. Gigantic balls of fire were falling from the sky, and I immediately left in fear of my life. I must remember to bring a mist-linking book with me when I return, in case the one left there has been damaged or destroyed. I have returned to a different world than the one I left only 3 months ago. It has been transformed into a barren desert land, with only gigantic craters scattered across the land to provide variety. Strangely, though, the small grassy hill where I spent my first night remains exactly the way I found it. Apparently, the falling meteors did not hit this area, leaving an oasis in the midst of this horrible desolation. The hot wind I remember has turned into a rather pleasant breeze, which is at least one improvement. I fear it is the only improvement. The magnificent lake I saw on my first visit is now completely dried up. However, another lake now exists and appears to be quite a bit larger. I assume one of the falling meteors created this lake due to its circular shape and the jutting rock that grows out of the center of the lake. The rest of this world seems like desert, although I will verify that statement with closer inspection. Though this world has little visual excitement to offer, it offers much to the ears. Sounds constantly flow through my ears, and I have found where a few of them originate. It seems, as Catherine says, I do find beauty in everything. Last night I was awakened by a horrible hissing. I was sweating, and the heat was so intense that I immediately dipped my head in a nearby stream to cool it down. The hot breezes had returned, along with a low roar from the ground. I walked a short distance to observe some red flames shooting up from the earth. Suddenly the ground began to crack and a huge chasm opened. The chasm continued to grow until it was far too wide to cross. Then the tumult subsided, leaving only a dull roar. I have decided, however, I can use the chasm to my advantage. Perhaps the heat from the chasm can be harnessed. Even as the chasm has ripped into the surface of this world, it has opened up a whole new world to explore. Although uncomfortably hot, I found it possible to reach a cave in the chasm that had been created, and have now explored deep into the crust of this planet. I have found a vast underground cave system that will take many years to map it and explore. I will also look for a safer way to reach the underground than through the chasm wall. This age seems to change on its own, so I feel I should leave again and see if things are different when I return. It is also important that I check on Cirrus and Achenar and make sure everything is going well. When I return, I also hope to bring back some tools I will need for my plans to explore the underground. The abundance of raw materials here is beginning to amaze me. I have returned with some of the complex tools I knew I would be needing. I assumed I would have to return for more basic materials, however it seems as though I will be able to find everything I need here. Of course, iron is abundant, but I have also found titanium occurring naturally. I am all the more excited to begin work. Everything is set and I will look forward to tomorrow. My raw materials are all here. I think I will be able to have most of my additions to this age completed within 1 year. I so love working with my hands, whether writing or building. I began today on the bridge and it fades out. I hate when I do that. Fades back in. The magnetic idea will work well, and I have decided. A little diagram of I don't know what, but then it fades back out again. Or fades back in at 3 meters is not enough to support the beams, although fades out is amazingly strong. A little diagram of something. has to be one of my most prized possessions, or prized inventions. I am extremely blank. Could never have imagined it to come together. I doubt. Could possibly work with 14 instead of 8. Completely fatigued. I am so happy to have completed. Tomorrow. And I think that's the end of the fading. I don't quite know why. I'm leaving today in order to bring back Cirrus and Akinar. I have left them alone in Channelwood. I believe they will enjoy all there is to see here. The age seems to have stabilized. I believe the meteors set off a period of volcanic activity by piercing into the shallow crust, but the tremors have become few. I have just noticed that a large amount of this journal has curiously vanished from the very pages on which I wrote over the last 18 months. Fortunately, I have copied many of my construction notes in another journal. I do not understand the many mysteries of this world, but I trust I will discover the logical answers to my questions. I have a feeling that many of my questions can be answered in another age to which I hope to travel soon. But for now, I must simply accept this world's mysteries and take pride in my accomplishments. And then this is important. We have, trying to read this backwards, we have the first one is, I believe that is C. I think that's C, if I remember correctly. This would be C, D, F, G, A, B, C, I think. Wait. C, D, F, G, A, B, C. Oh, I forgot about E. How can I forget about E? Why did I skip over E? C, D, G, A, B, C. See, I just want C, D, G. Anyways, I think that as long as we get the proper keys right, I think that is low C, followed by high C, and then D sharp? Or is that, no, that'd be D flat, right? Right? I think. As long as we get the proper one, proper key. High D flat. I'm just going to call it flat. I honestly, it's been so long since I've looked at a keyboard with all the things, all the proper notes named, that I can't even properly remember if I'm looking at this right. So if I'm not, go ahead and correct me. But as long as I get the proper keys in their placements. Fourth one is, let's see, if the one I have my cursor on is C, then D, E, or D, F, G. No. That'd be, according to my reckoning, that'd be E, I don't know. I think it's, I'll just say E. And then the last one is low B flat. Okay, that's going to be important. Oh, I didn't even check to see if there were more pages after that. Come on. Okay, a topographical map of the age. Okay, now let's go look at the access key. Like I said, that little thing with the keyboard is going to be important, because just like the Stone Ship Age, there's a little bit of extra in the books that you need in order to actually access it. Okay. Now let's take a look at where is the linking book here. Yep, it's down in the rocket ship. That's where we're going to have to go. But let's get the key first. 59 volts. Okay.